Daiki, after returning to the temple, spent his days with renewed serenity. However, despite the profound inner change, there was one thought that continued to torment him. During his journey, he had met many people whose lives seemed to be trapped in a cycle of suffering, as if each challenge reinforced their deepest fears. Have you ever wondered if you too could break the cycle of suffering in your life? Let's find out together. Was it possible, Daiki wondered, that the key to breaking this cycle was in anyone's hands? Could they, like him, transform the reflection of their life? If you want to find out more, subscribe to our channel and join our journey of growth and awareness. One night, as the moon lit up the temple garden, Daiki decided to look for more answers. He turned his gaze to the mirror that Master Kaido had given him, and for the first time, he did not simply look for his face, but for the image of his spirit. What was the mirror giving him back? What thoughts were really guiding him? He began to reflect on each person he had met on his journey. He remembered the young shepherd, Takashi, who lived in the shadow of fear that he would not be able to provide for his family. Wasn't that fear a manifestation of his deepest beliefs? Takashi believed that he was not strong enough, that he did not have enough resources. Yet every day he worked with dedication and sacrifice. What would happen if he began to see himself not as a limited man, but as someone who already had all the resources necessary to take care of his loved ones? Daiki thought about how powerful the change in Takashi's reflection would be if he only changed the way he saw himself. Have you ever been in a similar situation? Share your experience and how you managed to overcome your fears in the comments. Then, he remembered the smiling woman, Aiko, who, despite the difficulties, seemed to radiate an inner light that made her different from everyone else. She had lost everything, yet she faced life with gratitude. It was clear that her inner reflection was one of acceptance and trust, despite the losses she had suffered. Aiko did not try to change the world around her, but the world seemed to respond to her in a positive way, as if her smile was capable of attracting new opportunities. Try to do the same. Welcome what life offers you with gratitude. You may discover a new way of living. Daiki decided to seek out Takashi and Aiko to share with them what he had learned. He wanted to offer them the chance to see life as he had seen it after his inner awakening. So, he set out again, with the mirror in his hand, as a symbol of the journey he was undertaking not only for himself, but for everyone he had met. After days of walking, he reached Takashi's house. He found him tired, bent over his fields, his worried gaze fixed on the earth. Daiki approached him calmly, and together they sat under a tree. "Takashi," Daiki began, "I have walked for a long time and reflected on what I have learned. When I met you, I saw your dedication and your strength, but also the fear you carried inside you. This fear, my friend, is not an absolute truth. It is only a reflection of what you believe about yourself. If you began to see yourself as a capable, strong, and rich man inside, what would change in your life?" Takashi looked at Daiki in confusion. "I don't understand, Daiki. My life is what it is. My fear is real, because the difficulties are real." Daiki smiled. "I understand what you mean. But remember that the world is like a mirror. If you continue to believe that you are not enough, the mirror will reflect this belief back to you. But if you start to see yourself differently, slowly, the world will also begin to reflect this new image. Start changing the reflection of your life right now. Look in the mirror and repeat to yourself a phrase that makes you feel strong." Takashi was silent for a long moment, then asked in a hesitant voice, "And how can I do that? How can I begin to see myself differently?" Daiki took the mirror out of his backpack and handed it to Takashi. "Start here. Every morning, look at yourself and tell yourself that you are enough. No matter how strange it feels at first, do it with conviction. The words you say, the thoughts you cultivate, are powerful. They are like seeds you plant in your mind. In time, they will blossom and show you a different reflection. Takashi accepted the mirror with a slight smile, as if a little hope had been born inside him. Daiki greeted him, leaving him with those simple but powerful instructions, then walked towards the village where Aiko lived. When he arrived, he found Aiko sitting by the river with her usual serene smile. "Daiki!" she exclaimed, happy to see him. "What brings you here?" Daiki sat down next to her. "Aiko, your inner light is evident to everyone who meets you. Despite all that you have lost, you radiate peace and serenity. I want to know how you maintain this balance, despite the difficulties." Aiko looked at him softly. "Daiki, it is not the outside world that determines my peace. I have learned that every challenge brings with it a lesson, an opportunity to grow. I welcome everything that comes into my life with gratitude, knowing that it is a part of my journey. I do not control what happens, but I do control how I react, and I choose to react with love." Are you inspired by these words? Try living a day welcoming every challenge with gratitude and love. The results may surprise you. Daiki was struck by the depth of his words. Aiko had understood, instinctively, what he had laboriously learned during his journey. It was the inner reflection, the way we look at ourselves and the world, that determined the quality of our life. After saying goodbye to Aiko, Daiki realized that his journey was not over. Every person, every encounter was a new opportunity to discover a part of himself. But now he knew that he did not have to change the outside world, nor fight against the difficulties that life presented. He just had to continue looking inside himself, accepting each reflection as a guide to greater understanding and inner peace. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Don't fight it, embrace it. And so, Daiki continued his journey, no longer searching for answers, but with the knowledge that every step, every breath was already part of the answer. Like the mirror he carries with him, the world around him responded to his thoughts and emotions, giving him back exactly what he chose to show. With this in mind, every challenge became an opportunity, every encounter a lesson. Did you find this teaching useful? Subscribe to our channel to discover more stories that might inspire your own journey of inner growth. In the end, everything he sought was already within him, reflected in the vast mirror of life.